There it is. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so today we are gonna jump back into some Noita. I have beaten the game twice now. I don't know if that was the case the last time I recorded this, but I honestly, the times I won did not really get anything super amazing. I don't remember what I had the first time I beat the game, but the second time I beat it, I was actually working. I was clocked in and taking calls, and I was just kind of playing Noita on my Surface as I waited for calls to come in, and I managed to beat the game. And it was kind of amazing that I did so. But I had the wand that shoots a blue arrow that arcs and then goes through soft materials was like my main weapon. I powered it up briefly with some damage boost spell to make it a little bit more potent. And I think I had it so I could shoot it a little bit more frequent. Like, I think I had a higher fire rate on it a little bit. But it was pretty much bog standard blue arrow spell. I also had the lightning, which was instrumental in killing bigger, more powerful enemies that I was encountering in the levels. The lightning spell definitely very key to winning because it was the damage dealer for most of the run, since it's just over fucking powered as all get out in terms of its damage. And then I think I also had something that could dig, kind of. I think it was the energy ball, the energy orb. And I had a super high fire rate on it, so it was basically like I could just go through the level anywhere I wanted at any time. Other than metal. I couldn't go through metal with it, because the energy orb does not work on metal. It only works on like dirt and stone and stuff. But yeah, I beat the game with that set up. I basically only had 3 good wands. I don't remember what the 4th one was. It might have been a black hole, maybe. But I don't remember entirely. But yeah, not really a whole lot of special perks or anything. I don't think I had any kind of shielding effects or anything like that, so it really doesn't take much to beat this. It's just you gotta get lucky, and you gotta get good at using the wands. Know how they work, know how to use them. True of any game, I suppose. But this game, it's more of just figuring out what wands you like and the spells that you prefer, and then beefing them up with other additional spells that kind of coalesce. Synergies is the term, I guess. Something like Isaac, where you know which items to pick up and which ones to leave alone. But again, I think that's a thing of most roguelite games, is to kind of figure out what weapons to use at the right time. As opposed to like power leveling or just having really good aim. Because my aim sucks, I'm not very good, even with mouse and keyboard. Especially with mouse and keyboard, to be honest. I'm actually a controller guy, so this is like not really the way I play most games. That's interesting. I might pick that one up. Just for the water spell. Always casts water. Weird. Poison immunity, yes. I think in that winning run I had fire immunity, I think, is one thing I think I had. Oops, oh, that was a waste. Oh my. Okay. Huh. But I was thinking about doing VR stuff today, but I decided against it because today was not a good day at work. This whole week has been really poo-poo. Busy, and we've been having issues. Mostly with just being busy. I saw again today when I looked at the number of people on our team that it had shrank. And that's never a good sign. Because I was like, this list appears to be smaller than it was before. And then I went and dug up one of the emails our manager sent to us all, just to see if there were any names in the list of recipients of the email that I didn't see on our team board. And I noticed 2 names that I didn't see in the list of people. And I was like, oh, they're gone, aren't they? So that was not a good sight to see when we are very, very busy as of late, dealing with a lot of call volume over a long, it's not that we're getting more calls than we were getting before, it's that we're getting more calls consistently across the board throughout the day. Because we would get our lulls in the afternoon and kind of in the morning-ish, where no one was really calling in, but now we just get calls all day, the whole day long, with no slowdown. And it's just man, it really fatigues you bad. Even though you're not doing anything, you're not going anywhere, you're not really moving at all, but yet it drains you so much to just endlessly talk and think. I don't know how to describe it, but it wears you out for sure. And then on top of that, our whole system goes down at I quit. I get done for the day at 5 p.m. So everything took a shit, and the system went down at 4 p.m. At 3:50, going into 4. I noticed my tickets weren't loading properly, and I'm like, oh crap. So I tried to refresh my browser cache because we interact with the ticketing system on the internet through the web browser. So I cleared the browser cache, which deletes any cookies or whatever that might have been causing a problem. But as soon as I tried to load it back up and I saw it was doing the same shit, I was like, oh man, system's down again, right at the end of the day. But normally that wouldn't be that big a deal because we wouldn't be so busy. It'd normally be kind of winding down and there wouldn't be that many people calling in anyway. But because we've been so consistent in our busyness lately, that it just was the whole rest of the last hour was just taking calls and not doing anything for the people calling in and just saying, sorry, we can't really do anything. Well, that was nice. That was a good start. So it sucked to finish out the day like that, and it's just the prospect of more of that tomorrow. And then I unwittingly volunteered myself for 4 hours of fun on Saturday, so that's great. But you know, you do what you gotta do to keep in the good books, right? Now, I don't technically actually have to do anything extra other than show up at my time, my regular shift, but I don't know, I feel like I need to work extra time. And that feeling is unnecessary, unneeded, uncalled for, right? I mean, I could easily just say, screw it, I'm not coming in, I'm not doing any extra work, I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do and leave. But, I don't know, just feel like you're going to face some further consequences. Or like when they ask for people to volunteer again, which they do every weekend now, you feel bad that you've not volunteered in a while and you just feel like it's required, even though it isn't. It sounds like I have an unhealthy relationship with my employer. That's correct. I do. As I'm sure most of America does. Nobody wants to be a workaholic, right? No one really lives off of their job as a source of enjoyment. Although I'm sure, I guess there are some people that do, but I'm not one of those people. But it's just like, I feel like I have to. I feel like I'm not gonna get any favors. Like, I feel like the manager I have right now is a lady that has been with us for a while, but she kind of had another team that she kind of went off and helped. Because I think she started with that team. And she was more dealing with them, and we had a manager that left. So, the manager I have now ended up coming back to be the manager for our team because the manager we had left to go do something else, another job or something, I guess. But so my manager I have now is someone I liked, someone I was kind of close, not like, you know. I valued her very casual and friendly style of managing, as opposed to other styles of management. So, if it had been my previous manager that left, I wouldn't have felt as compelled to be helpful. I wouldn't have volunteered so readily. But my previous manager wouldn't have needed that because my previous manager would have demanded it. My previous manager would have been like, you guys have to do this. It's not an option. You can't, we're not going to ask you to volunteer. We're going to say you have to come in. So, because my manager that I have now is nice and is just asking nicely for people to volunteer, and I feel like I want to I want to encourage that. I want that to continue, the asking and not the telling. So I feel compelled to offer my help in volunteering so that positive behavior continues. Maybe it's, again, not necessary and I'm just kind of allowing myself to be abused slightly. It's possible. Certainly possible. But yeah, I wasn't feeling like getting the VR stuff out and dealing with all that after such a poo-poo day. I do have some rather exciting things happening soon that are not really that exciting. They're just kind of, there's a thing I ordered from eBay is coming tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to getting it. But yeah, not really any really important life events, I should say. Just kind of a nice fun thing coming in the mail. And then, of course, you know, the weekend. Like, as much as I did volunteer to work on Saturday, I do at least get most of my weekend still. And then next weekend, I am having a 3-day weekend. I am off on Friday because I asked for time off. And I'm going to have a nice, fun weekend. Actually, do have plans to hang out with friends for, like, the first time in months next weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing some guys that haven't seen in the flesh in a very long time. That'll be good. So I figure I'd rather volunteer this weekend and get that out of the way, so that next weekend, when they again ask for volunteers for work in the weekend, they won't ask me because I will have volunteered this weekend. Or at least, you know, I'll be able to justify to myself that I don't need to volunteer next weekend. Because that's really all it is. The current system as it is not anyone has to do anything. We're all free to either volunteer our time and work or not. No one forcing our hand on anything. So it's just down to our individual consciousnesses to decide our own fate. And mine just happens to be a goody-goody. So can't go too long without volunteering before I feel like a dirty, rotten piece of shit for abandoning our team in their time of need. Even though, again, it's not really... like, this is a business. It's like not that big a deal for me to it's not that big a deal if I don't volunteer. These are all shit. I mean, it is a big deal in that our team struggles really hard, even with me there. So, me not being there and not volunteering makes the struggling for our team worse. But I want to hope that management is doing their best to, like, get some more people in, even though our job is a revolving door situation where we are always losing people because no one wants to do this shit. And when people come in and they see how bad of a time it is, they're just like, fuck, I need to get out of here. And honestly, if I had the ability to leave my current job, I totally would have. Long ago. Been looking for about a year. Well, shit, no. More like 2 years at this point. Because I started looking in 2019, and we're now 2021. So, it's been a long time of frustrated search for nothing. But it's one of those things where it's like, this job is decent enough in its entire, the sum of its parts, that I almost can't justify leaving. Because, I mean, the benefits are decent. The pay isn't great, but it's not terrible. And I'm not, like, having to go out into a cornfield and hold a PVC pipe and shout numbers for, like, 2 straight hours with bird shit and cobwebs and sweat running down my face, which was not exciting and terrible, like, good, but it's got its negatives, which are numerous and many, like everything. But it's the most important thing is the money. I'm getting enough money to live where I am, to pay my bills, and I have so much opportunity to get more money that I don't even take advantage. I don't even want it. Just because it's just like I'm burning out so hard on the job. Because it's just a lot. It's just a whole lot. Let me tell you, if you've never worked a service job in your life, you've never worked at like McDonald's or whatever, then you've never truly worked a day in your life. Because those jobs are some of the most annoying, difficult, shitty jobs you could ever have. Until you've had to deal with someone else's entitlement and have to tell them something they don't like, only to have them try to bring down your career and fuck you in some way, then you've never ever actually truly suffered a bad job. Now, I say that with the full disclosure that there are jobs out there that can be way, way worse in different ways. Like being a criminal selling drugs, for example, would be a terrible job in that you're very likely to either go to jail or die by even starting to do that job. You probably, if you do that, you probably have to murder people at least several times a month, if not a day. But that's not like a legit actual job that you interview and submit your resume for. I'm just saying that. So I'm using it as an example of a thing that people do for their livelihoods. Because there's all kinds of ways to make a living. There's normal 9-to-5 jobs like mine. And then there's the more outlandish stuff that some people would not agree is even a job. Like being a YouTuber, for example. That's a very difficult job that I don't think I could do at all. I mean, I'm kind of doing it as a hobbyist right now, right? You know, you're watching it. But this is a couple hour stream that's not even a live stream. It's just a recording that I put up on YouTube. And then that's it. I don't have to deal with the monetization bullshit. I don't have to deal with moderation of chat. I don't have to deal with DMCA or copyright strikes necessarily, because even if they cause my video to, like, they put a claim on it, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not making any money on this shit anyway. So there's a company probably wouldn't even bother putting up the claim on the video because they're not going to get anything out of it. I'm not making anything, they're not making anything, it's just a waste of their time at that point. But the YouTubers have to go through quite a lot, and they also have to have incredible stamina because they have to do several hours of streaming, like probably at least 8 or more a day, just to get their content rolling, like to get their stuff out there. Because I mean, when you watch a video, you might sit and watch the whole 2 hour or so video and be like, alright, what's next? And if you've got nothing to watch, you're not clicking their banners, their banner ads or whatever. So they gotta keep you watching. And the only way to keep you watching is to keep putting out content for you to watch. So they gotta stream for hours and hours a day, and it's just like I enjoy a stream here and there, just because I get to shit out some of my brain farts, my thoughts into this void of the internet. But having to do it all the time, I think I'd just start running out of shit to say. And I do run out of stuff to say when I'm streaming. Can't imagine the guys that gotta do it for 8 hours a day plus. I don't know how they stay relevant for so long. I think that in the case of, like, I was watching Achievement Hunter play Hitman 3 the other day, and I noticed the thing that Gavin likes to do is to, like, comment on things that he's seeing. So if he doesn't have an actual topic to talk about at the moment, he'll just kind of use whatever he's looking at in the gameplay and kind of go from there, which is something I do sometimes. But yeah, those guys are pros. That's why I watch them, because they're so good. And it's more, I think, getting to becoming a fan of a YouTube personality is like, you gotta see like one video that they're in and it be very funny and entertaining to you, and then you kind of just keep up with them. You come back and see what else they have later, and that's how things work for me for Achievement Hunter. I kind of started with rage quit videos, and then I ultimately just started watching the rest of Achievement Hunter do stuff and came to enjoy them as an entire collective whole, their whole team of dudes and dudettes. Yeah, so I'm probably today I'm gonna do, as a consolation for not doing VR stuff like I was planning to, I'm gonna do some of this, and I'm gonna switch over to Hitman 2. I have some things left that I want to accomplish in Hitman 2. There's like a virus. Like there's the same levels, but there's a new story element that's happening in the same level, and it's like a viral outbreak kind of thing. And I never did it. I never went back and did that. So I think I'm gonna start doing some of that today. I just want to take a break from like Sekiro and Doom Eternal, because those two games are just kicking my ass right now. And today, after basically suffering a 8-hour defeat session of working a very annoying job that I dislike strongly, I want to do something that I want to do today. Like, I want to have fun now. which, you know, it's a bit of a selfish desire to want to be happy. But it's been a long day. Gonna probably have a longer, crappier day tomorrow even. Because tomorrow we always have less people to do calls on Friday. Smaller team size. And yet, with the way that things have been this week, I fully expect us to be as busy tomorrow as we were today, if not more so. So that means more work for those of us that will be available, because there's less people to take the workload. So I'm not thrilled about that concept. But, you know, we gotta do it, because it's our job. It's what I agreed to do. It's not good, but, you know, that's what it is. But yeah, so Hitman 2, starting with, I think it's Patient Zero is the first mission or whatever, but I'm going to switch recordings. I'm going to switch games at some point here when I've satisfied myself with Noita. Noita's a really good chill game for me. Feels really relaxed. Even though it can be very chaotic sometimes, I don't feel a lot of anticipation or excitement or like pent up drama about it. So that's one of the qualities of a roguelike game, is that you have some amount of motivation to get to the end of your run, but you know that you're just gonna do 1,000 more runs and everything will reset. So there's no loss. There's no real major consequence for failing. Which is true of all games, I guess. But I don't know, there's just something about Noita that's just very chill. I kind of feel that way about Terraria as well. Maybe it's the mouse and keyboard aspect. Yeah, Sekiro is not going particularly well at the moment. I learned last stream that you have to do the deflection and posture damage to really win. Because, like, their health, you can whittle it down slowly by being very conservative and dodging and being careful. But the way to win is to take them out quickly with posture damage. Because then you just get to kill them right away. And they might still be at 60% of their maximum health, but you just take them out right out of the gate because their posture broken. And that's apparently how you really win. Or at least that's how it's recommended. via the video I watched. The tips and tricks. Shit. But I learned that, and I learned that I didn't have nearly enough HP, or mostly the HP. I didn't have nearly as much HP as the guy in the video, and the posture damage and the deflections. I tried to practice on some enemies. I also had my stream fuck up. Or my recording fuck up, rather, because I'm not streaming, I'm recording. But I had my recording mess up. And I lost a good portion of it, so really, I guess I didn't have much going on anyway. I was kind of more just practicing deflection and posture damaging on some enemies, and so I was kind of just doing the same crap over and over. So it wasn't exactly like a super enjoyable and entertaining stream anyway. But I did lose probably about 60 to 70% of my recording. Because the part that got separated, the first part of it got corrupted. And then I just kind of did the last half. I was going to merge the two pieces together, because there's a built-in video editing thing in Windows. But unfortunately that first part of the first recording was corrupted, so I couldn't use it. So I ended up posting only the second video, because that's all I had left. So yeah, I did that, and then I was playing Doom that day as well, so I Doom Eternal on the Ancient Gods DLC, which is very, very difficult, in my opinion, anyway. So I was just playing, I played two extremely hard games that were just beating the shit out of me, and then that was Sunday, so then I come in to work on Monday for like one of our busiest days that we've had this year, other than the first day back from Christmas vacation. So it's just been a hell of a time. It's been a hell of a week. So I'm looking forward to that 3-day weekend next weekend. It's gonna be nice. Be a nice change of pace from the ridiculous craziness that's work. But yeah, we'll do some Hitman 2 here shortly. Probably, if this run goes well. going okay. Could be better. I have some really good shit. Really good weapons. Really good wands. Got lots of money too. Oh jeez. That opened up a can of death. Woo! Oh jeez. I have 4 health. Time to escape the level. That killed me. God damn it. Watch those little pellets just slowly fall right on my head, killing me. Damn it. I always hate to see that when you have such good stuff and then that ends up going to waste. I was actually really trying to get out of there. I was at the bottom. One sole guy with a shotgun took me out. Right at the end. Little puke. And there's nothing in this game other than a shield thing. Like, you can get a shield, but it's not, like, perfect. I want full-on bullet immunity. I want projectile immunity. But that's too good. So they won't put that in. I can be explosion immunity and fucking nuke the planet a million times over, but I can't get bullet immunity. Even if it was just like bullets out of actual guns. Like the guys that have guns immunity. That would be all I would need. Well, probably not getting whatever that is. That's useless. Oh, cool. I'm killing myself. Nice. Good job, me. I kind of figured I would be immune to it, since I was the thing that made it. But that's not how this game works at all. That's not how this game works. It's just a shame the enemies don't end up suffering from it. I want to see the final boss unleash an attack that kills itself. Now, if it was a really super cool video game design, you could do that by using some kind of shield to block it, the attack, and have it go back into the boss. That would be cool. I bet you can actually do that in this game. You just have to get the right stuff. I feel like the way this fluid that I have on me works, it should be like you can't hurt an enemy at all. Like they have to, like you have to, like if you shoot them when you have this heart on you, it doesn't do anything. And you just can't kill them. But that would be awful. You'd end up dying so fast. Maybe you could avoid stuff for a little bit, but you gotta fight stuff at some point. Later levels, it's like totally mandatory. Like, you're just gonna run into thousands of enemies. And I've had this one before, and it doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. Just spice it up. Exploding gold, why not? But enemies do kill each other in this. Like, there are enemies that will kill other enemies. So much of my health gone just because of poison. And that really was not even really that much worth it. And it's a decently good damage. And that little bit of spread on the double shot that it's got there is kind of nice. Hits multiple enemies sometimes. Yes, rain down fire on the land. Blah! Oh my. This is a neat spell wand here. We'll place that guy. Missile launcher. Nice. We got a bunch of them. It's good. I'm pretty sure those rockets home a little bit. Maybe not though. Very dark in here. Yeah, they're home. Give me gold for killing them. I just wanted them dead. Well, I've got 1 HP left. I guess that means if I want this run to continue at all, I gotta leave. Alright, leave it is. Let's see, what do we have in here? There's a rock that just came flying in. Kick that over there. I feel like it activated this one because that one shoots rocks. Maybe not though. Okay, so we'll take that out. Take that out. Take that out. Might be bad. You know, we gotta do glass cannon. Might as well. Just for shits. I wonder what a glass cannon one of these would be like. Pretty good, actually. It's actually very controllable by comparison. Woo! Dang. The squeak of multiple mice being exploded. Jesus. Oh yeah, I'm dead. Alright. We'll keep going. I might get a good run, maybe. Try to get past the 3rd freaking level. Sometimes I can't manage to get past the 1st level. But that second winning run that netted me the victory achievement wasn't really that special in any way. It was just like most other runs. This will be good. I can get a fast wand that shoots a lot quickly. High rate of fire. A rock that burns. Good. Oh no. Oh no. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. No, I'm drowning. I was drowning in steam. Seriously not get any gold, really? Can't believe that's the first gold nugget I've picked up. Garbage. There's a area over here. That guy shooting acid balls could easily have killed me. Easily. I'm gonna go down through this hole. I got this thing, I don't know when I'm using the fireball launcher. I guess just because I can. It's early stages. There's lots of things to burn. Now I won't have the temptation. And now to find good things. Hopefully without dying. Oh yeah, I guess one thing I did not mention was that I am going to do a stream of my screenshots only from Cyberpunk. Because I cannot record Cyberpunk. I can barely play it. My machine, though once a powerful beast, is now humbled by Cyberpunk's demand for graphics processing. So, the best I can do is offer a... Shit. And I'm dead. The best I can do is offer a stream of my screenshots and kind of walking through what you're seeing in the screenshot. It's going to be a pretty decently good stream or recording because I have like probably 40 plus images that I've saved. All of them, except for like maybe like 5 or 10 of them, are relatively memorable. Some of them are pseudo spoilers, and I will note those. So if you don't want to be spoiled on anything, you can look away temporarily. That guy's a real goddamn prick. This run is pretty much toast. Yep. Okay, we'll do like 1 or 2 more and then I'll switch over to Hitman. Hey, I can make it go faster. Cool. That's a good one to have. Shield. But yeah, it's like I wanted to stream Cyberpunk really bad, actually, because, you know, it's a really good game, actually. Despite all the shit that it got in the beginning, it does have a lot of bugs, yes. Even I will say that. I've encountered several. Some of them more annoying than others, but kind of like Skyrim, you kind of just learn to live with them, because they don't really break the game in a way that causes it to be unplayable. So if you're on the fence about it, don't use my stream of the screenshots as a way to make your mind up. I would like watch some people play it actually and, you know, read some reviews or something, because it's not for everyone. I mean, I would say it is one of my favorite games from 2020, even though I bought it this year and not last year. But very good game. I'm an open world fanatic. I like to explore and find things and see pretty stuff. So it worked really well for me. But I kind of knew that going in. I was just more or less concerned about how buggy the game was. If it was so bad that it was nearly unplayable, or, you know, just wanted to know to what extent was it buggy. And I'm happy to report, for PC at least, that it is basically just Skyrim levels of bugginess. Although it actually, honestly, compared to Skyrim, it might be more. It might be more buggy than a Bethesda title. And if you've played a Bethesda game, you might be like, well, that's a high bar. Or maybe a low bar, depending on how you look at it. But, yeah, it's a really buggy game. They have a lot of shit to fix. And I'm not entirely sure they're going to. I mean, they'll certainly put out patches, yes, but a lot of the more cosmetic and minor things, they'll probably just let it go. They won't touch it. Because, I mean, there's so much stuff to fix. Why would you waste your time on the little stuff, right? But yeah, it's a good game. And as much as I would love to have recorded it, because it was a game worth recording, I unfortunately could not due to technical limitations, which is very surprising. My rig was supposed to be pretty well future-proofed. Okay, one more. I gotta get past the first level, at least. But my rig was supposed to be pretty beefy when I built it, and it is somewhat beefy, but not beefy enough. But yeah, I figured as a consolation I can go through all my screenshots that I have and kind of like walk through what happened in each one. And I'll talk about the various aspects of the game that are enjoyable or some that are not as enjoyable. Because the screenshot, each one that I look at will provoke different memories of what the game was at the time. And there were varying stages of like me being hooked on it. Like at the beginning, it takes a little bit to sink in because it's really scripted and slow, and there's a lot of stuff you can't do at the beginning. So it does take a bit to grow on you. My suggestion for any players that are new to Cyberpunk and you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, here's what I recommend. I recommend doing the starting mission, the prologue like heist thing that you set up with Jackie Wells, really quickly. Go through that. Make sure to get the iconic pistol and the katana in the heist mission. If you don't know about them, make sure to look for them and get them while you're doing the heist mission, because they're really good. The pistol is not as amazing, but the sword, the katana that you get in the heist mission at the beginning, is capable of being the best sword in the game, stat-wise. So definitely make sure to grab those. I failed to get the katana and then ended up being able to go back and get it with a glitch. But the glitch method is probably going to get patched out. So make sure to get that sword before you move on. It's not immediately obvious where it is. It's very easy to miss. But if you read up on where it is, or if you do a little poking around when you get freedom during that heist mission, you'll probably be able to stumble across it. I was just in a hurry to get it done because I knew that the game would open up more after the heist and let me do more shit, and that is exactly the thing. The heist mission is like an advanced tutorial that tells you how to play without really specifically telling you how to play. But yeah, I recommend getting that done quickly if you can, because the real meat of the game comes when you can explore at your own pace. And that's after the heist mission. It's at that point you are free to do any missions you want in any order. Well, okay, no, I guess not in any order, but like You're free to do any side missions or just screwing around in the city as much as you want. None of it is locked at all. Actually, no, I take that back. The outskirts, the Badlands, or the desert area outside of the city, that might still be locked down for a little bit. You might have to progress the story a little to get outside into the desert areas. But the whole city itself should be open to you. And it's big. It's a big map. It's not like Ark big or let's see, what is another game that's huge? I'd say it's about on par with Breath of the Wild in terms of its scale. It'll take you a while for you to get from one side of the map to the other, but it won't take all afternoon. It'll just be like 10-20 minutes of solid movement. So it's beefy, it's big. But the difference of how Cyberpunk compared to most open world games is it's kind of like a GTA in this sense, in that there's a lot of stuff to see. There's like every part of the city is filled with something to look at or experience. It's worth exploring. There's a thing to be found in almost every corner. And that's like crack cocaine to me. I have to find everything. I have to find all the secret loots. In fact, that's one of the things I'm working on in the game, is there's a wall in your apartment that you can put weapons in, but only certain ones that are very special. And I'm tracking down all those special weapons. I'm almost done. I've got like 3 left. One of which I can't get until I pretty much beat the game. So I'm not going to get that one for a while. But I am actually really close to beating the game, so I might be able to get it soon. I'm taking my time with it though. I'm doing a lot of side quests and really having a good time, because I am enjoying the game quite a bit. One of the things I will also say about the game is that there's a vehicle that you can get for free that there's a lot of folks saying it's the best vehicle in the game. Not really true, in my opinion. I don't agree with that. It's a fast vehicle. It might be the fastest vehicle in the game, sure. But it's not the best vehicle. The reason I say that is that it's fast, but it's also uncontrollable. Very, very hard to steer. So, I don't like it as much. I call it the Cyber Mustang is the vehicle that I like the best. I won't spoil any further on it, although you probably will see it in my screenshot tour that I record. So, but it's my favorite vehicle so far. There's an Akira, like the movie Akira bike, that's really cool, and it's probably, I think they tie, honestly, the bike and the Cyber Mustang, because they're both so cool, and they both drive rather well compared to some of the other vehicles. Like the fastest vehicle in the game is less controllable, in my opinion, than both the Cyber Mustang and the Akira bike. So I like it. I like them better than the fastest vehicle, which is a Caliburn. I don't remember what the like full name of the vehicle is, but it's like Caliburn something. It's a jet black supercar that you find in a crate inside of a cave after you do a certain mission. You have to do the mission and then wait 3 days at least, and then come back to the cave, and it'll be in a storage container in the cave. And it's fast, yes, but it's also very hard to drive because you go so fast, you're uncontrollable and can't like steer very well. So I don't like it as much. Not my favorite vehicle. But it does look cool. I mean, it's a supercar. It's jet black. I won't spoil anything. There's a certain little snippet of story element that kind of goes with the car that I'm not gonna spoil, but it's kind of lame, really. It's a nice little touch, but it's just not that exciting. I will also not spoil entirely some of the story-related items that you pick up. Although you'll probably see some of them in the screenshots when I do that. I'll make sure to mention that they're spoiler containing. So there's a lot of screenshots I have that are not spoilers, because it's just stuff you'll see playing the game. Because I mean, every screenshot is technically a spoiler, in that it shows you the things that you could see in the game. But there's story stuff that like is not necessarily a huge surprise that you get those items, but like it's kind of like, oh hey, cool, I didn't know you could get this. So I'll make sure to say these are spoilers, and I'll try to avoid talking about them, because some people will just kind of like look away and listen to what I'm saying and not look at the screen. Is the way I do it, because otherwise how the hell do you know that the spoilers are done, right? I should have been putting that there. God damn it. I tried to kill everything quickly so I wouldn't die. It failed. I gotta get past the first level. I can't just die on the first level and call it. That would be super lame. Yeah, mostly a lot of Cyberpunk lately. I've been trying not to play it as much because I don't like to. I want to savor it, since it's such a good, fun, nice game. I want to sip on it nice and slow so I enjoy it every second of it. Because it was my most anticipated game of 2020, and it ended up living up to my expectations fully. Because I did not have as much hype going in as everyone else did. It was like Breath of the Wild. I watched. I didn't really fully engage in all of the trailers leading up to the release. Breath of the Wild, I don't think I saw anything about Breath of the Wild until like the last couple weeks until it came out. Because I had been so soured by Skyward Sword, one of my least favorite modern Zelda games. And I was like, dude, this is gonna be another crappy Skyward Sword. They've lost their touch, and now their games are gonna be poo-poo. So I had very low expectations for Breath of the Wild, since I hadn't followed it in any way. Just wanna check and see if I see a friend of mine is on the Halo, and I want to see if anybody else is joining in. We have a text messaging thread about Halo. Nope. Looks like he's just playing it by himself. But yeah, so I had very little hype going into Breath of the Wild, since I had played Skyward Sword and was disappointed by it. And then I started paying attention to the trailers about a week before the game was supposed to come out. And I'd been seeing stuff about the Switch, and I was actually more hyped about the Switch than I was about Breath of the Wild, just because the idea of a game console that you can both play on the TV and portable I felt like a very, very smart move for Nintendo. I thought they were geniuses with that idea. And I was eager to see it play out. So I guess, I have to pay some attention to Zelda, because, Zelda is Zelda. Even though Skyward Sword was one of my least favorite Zelda games in the modern set, it was still a decently good game, and I did actually 100% Skyward Sword, which I didn't expect to do, but it was actually pretty freaking easy. So, yeah, I fully beat Skyward Sword, and like I said, even though it wasn't my favorite in the series of Zelda games, it was very good still. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, it was good and competent and well put together, but it was more of just like, yeah, it's Zelda, okay, sure. It didn't blow my socks off. But then I played Breath of the Wild, and I was like, damn, this is a freaking great game. The day that I got Breath of the Wild, I played it for 7 straight hours. And I don't think I left the tutorial plateau area. Well, okay, that's not true. I think I did eventually, but I spent a long time on that plateau just goofing around, having a good old time. And I loved that game. I loved it even more when I got to get my outfit from Ocarina of Time, and I was like, hell yeah, classic Zelda outfit, modern Zelda gameplay, best combination ever. So I was pretty amped for that. And Cyberpunk was kind of the same way. I didn't really pay any attention to the trailers leading up, I paid attention to the stuff when the game was just coming out, just releasing, because I was curious about it. And I remember I saw the Steam page, and I looked at the trailers that they had on the store page for Steam, and that's what got me really hyped on it. was seeing that trailer of like the first person, the driving, the gun customization, crafting, character creation. It was just such a fucking full, meaty game. And it was open world. Because I had heard about The Witcher. And I knew people really, really, really liked The Witcher a lot. So I figured, you know, these guys have a track record of greatness. And then the game, Cyberpunk, looks good on paper. So I was like, dude, this is going to be a good game. But then I kind of, towards when the game came out and like the days or so leading up to that, I was hearing it was a mess of glitches and bugs, and it just didn't live up to the hype that a lot of people had for it. So I actually hesitated a little. I didn't buy the game at launch. I actually went, I kind of had a thing that it was like a convenient excuse to not buy it right away. I was on vacation for 2 weeks at the tail end of last year. So I didn't really have the opportunity to buy it even, because I was on vacation away from my computer and couldn't really play the game if I had bought it anyway. So that gave me time to think and to read up on what people were saying. And I was a little hesitant based on what people were saying. I was like, I don't know. I might need to wait for this to be fixed before I buy it. And as I watched it more, or I read more and watched videos of people playing it, I eventually came to learn that, yeah, the game's got a few bugs here and there, but overall, a pretty solid experience. So I didn't feel as... God damn it, I need to get a little further than that. I didn't feel like it was gonna be a problem. And I felt like it would meet my expectations that I had set for it, which was I wanted an open world game with really cool cyberpunky aesthetics, with a decently good story, and some really good customization of character and guns. And I wanted the gunplay to be decent. I didn't care so much about the driving because the driving is not really a core element of the game. It is a better way to get around the city than walking or fast traveling, but it's not the most important thing. It would be nice if it were better, and it makes some of the cool factor of the vehicles a little less exciting because they drive like piss, but overall, not that bad. I mean, it's passable. I've certainly played worse as far as driving. But it has the good, reasonably good gunplay. I play with the auto aim, like there's aim assist that you can like make. They actually have a thing. It's not a full slider, but there's like several options for how much auto aim you want, and I have it on light, so it's not completely off, but it's also not like I have to do most of the work aiming, which is the way I prefer it. So the gunplay is pretty good. The customization is very good. The open worldy aspect is great. There's a lot to see and do. The story is pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's amazing by any stretch of the imagination. It's not gonna win any Oscars necessarily, but it's pretty decently good. And I have probably an entire video's worth of an opinion about Johnny Silverhand and Keanu Reeves' performance. I think he did an okay job, but I feel like they could have found somebody better to do that character. And this is, as I was saying to myself earlier and talking about this to myself because I'm crazy pants, Keanu is a nice guy and a very reserved dude. So his actual personality archetype does not particularly mesh well with the character he's portraying, in my opinion at least. So it comes across as how should I say this? Like he's not trying, kinda. Even though he totally is absolutely doing a very good job. It feels a little less good. Even though it's largely in my head. There's a lot of moments where his voice is just, for me, it's just too quiet and soft and charismatic. It doesn't carry enough weight to it or emotion to really register what they were going for with Johnny. Because, like, Johnny's character is a dickhead. He's mean-spirited and rude and just a jerk. But yet, when you hear Keanu talk in this character's lines, you get the idea that he's meaning to be a dickhead, but he's Keanu Reeves, so he's like really nice and like soft and calming. And I don't mean that as an insult to Mr. Reeves. I feel like he's a very good actor, and he definitely he's very skilled at what he does. And he's like, the body language that he gives off is perfect. That part of it is solid. Nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, I feel like they could have picked a different person to play the role, to sell the emotion a little better, because I feel like Keanu's emotional range is very shallow and short range. Like, he's got, like, his neutral emotional state and his like full pissed off, angered emotional state to me seem very close together based on the tone of his voice. He's like me. I have a very monotone voice that doesn't change a lot when I'm angry or neutral. So I think we kind of share that vocal range. I feel like that's one of the reasons why you never hear Johnny singing for his band, the Samurai Band, is that I don't think Keanu would be able to do it. Now maybe there might be a point in the future of the game here that I haven't gotten to where he does actually sing, and it's like maybe I'll get a chance to judge that for myself, but I don't know. I feel like Keanu is too much of a laid-back, chill dude to really be the douchebag he's supposed to be. But other than that, I think he's a good addition to the game. He's certainly entertaining to listen to his lines of being a shithead and saying, "Oh, fuck you," and "I'm an asshole," and "I think you're a pussy," and all this. But yet again, it's like in the soft, careful, quiet tone of Keanu Reeves. "You're a fucking asshole," is kind of how it goes. It's just like... sometimes I shake my head a little bit, like, oh man, Keanu, what did they make you say this time? Why did they make you say this? But, you know, the character you're playing as, V, is a totally different story, in that character is... You get to choose the dialogue options a lot of times, but a lot of the times the choices are still not quite what I would say in the situation you're in. He comes across as, or she, if you're playing as the female version, the femshep V. He comes across as, or again, he or she comes across as kind of an idiot, kind of a more like a no-brain fool. Even though there are times where my character employs a bit of savvy that even I wouldn't have, or he's like dumb and smart in certain ways. Which is a bit, again, not a great description, but like, there's a lot of times where Johnny is telling you that you're stupid, and you're not seeing, he's like, you don't get it, you're not understanding what I'm saying, and it's like, no, Keanu, I fully, or Johnny Silverhands, I fully get what you're putting down. Like, I know exactly what he's trying to say. But yet my character, V, does not understand. So it's a little silly at times. When you want to say something, or you see the options to speak for V that are not quite what you had in mind. And you just... like, of the choices you get for the dialogue, you have to pick one, and a lot of the times it's just the one choice. Like, there's no actual choices. You can choose to get a little extra dialogue out of him, but the actual main plot movement thing is not up to you. So I have some criticisms of the game, of, the parts that are not buggy. But I do still think it is a very good game that I definitely enjoy. I will continue to enjoy it, and I recommend it highly, because it is a very, if nothing else, it's a visual treat. Anybody that likes flashy, cool, graphical things, you'll love this game. There's so many cool things to see. It's like being in a... Well, I shouldn't say like being in a theme park, because, it's a little different than that, but it's a very pretty game. I can think of no other game where I was oohing and awing at graphical effects as much. Although Ark and GTA definitely fit that bill too. It's just this game is like... GTA and Ark were good for the time, but this game surpasses them. And it does so in a way that's entirely different. I mean, those games have a lot of foliage and trees and stuff, and are different settings. Like, one is dinosaurs and you're on an island with no buildings of any kind, and it's just the grand scale of the island and all the dinosaurs roaming around, interacting with each other that's really impressive there. Whereas with GTA, you're in virtual Los Angeles with a beach and, you know, modern day normal stuff. And then Cyberpunk 2077 has a futuristic city with lots of really grimy, nasty grossness, but like it's so pretty to look at. Like the city is just so vibrant and alive. So many advertisements and flashy lights and just tons of futuristic stuff. So it's a treat. Definitely a treat. That I, again, highly recommend. It's, as I have said this in previous videos I recorded, but it's if you want to know in like a few words what to expect, what is Cyberpunk like? It is, if you have played these games, you'll know immediately what to expect. It is Deus Ex, Human Revolution and or Mankind Divided, crossed with Borderlands. And maybe a little bit of GTA thrown in. Those are the games I would say are the most like Cyberpunk, and will play similarly, because it's got the story arc and different playthrough styles of Deus Ex, but it's also got the open world driving of GTA and the loot system of Borderlands. So there's a lot of good stuff. The games that are influencing how it plays are all very good, so it ends up being a decently good package because of those influences. Shit. That was close. Holy shit. Oh, well, we have to do this, obviously. This will be a good finale. Especially if I start us off with some bombs. Oh my god. Oh shit. What? How did I kill myself? I used the energy orb. That doesn't do any damage to me. Okay, well that was weird. Okay, well that's gonna be Noita for tonight, which came with a lot of extra shit. A lot of extra discussion. I felt it was necessary. So now, I'm going to move on to some Hitman, but I'm going to close off the video and start a new one. So if you're not going to continue watching on into Hitman, which you probably won't, maybe you will, I don't know, further discussion of Cyberpunk and other shit. But thank you for watching Noita, and if you're only interested in Noita, sometimes I do this with videos on YouTube. I only watch what I like certain YouTubers like the Achievement Hunters and Vinny from Vinesauce, but I only watch what games I want them to, like I like to see them play. So I miss out on some of the things they talk about because I they play games I don't like to see played. But if you're like that, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not gonna feel slighted in any way. So if you only watch me for Noita, then there will be more Noita. So don't worry about that. But thank you for watching, and see you later.